Hiya, I'm Tracy, your host for a Chandler's Channel, and today's episode is our intuitive weekly reading for December 23rd to 30th, 2013. So if that's what you're here for, welcome, stay tuned. I'll be with Whitehawk in just a moment to consciously channel the weekly reading, but as always, I touch back on the previous week, which was the week of the winter solstice, and I have to say it was a very challenging week to get through in regards to emotions and body signals. Here's what I found. I found it was even so on Sunday it was starting. I know there was Sunday I was so fatigued, and I know I've mentioned before about solstices and equinoxes that it's like not right on the day. It is a build-up, and for me, I seen and felt in myself and the world around me. I seen the build-up coming. Started at the end of November, and so it's been a long 3 weeks, and hopefully it dissipates. The energies start to dissipate and lessen. And I sort of felt that on Wednesday. I felt them lessen because I felt Sunday I was really tired, and then Monday, I had heart palpitations. I'm just reading so I remember. Fatigue, exhaustion, emotional upset, anger, things coming up for release, and that's what the solstice is all about. If you touch back on our winter solstice vlog, you'll hear Whitehawk say to clean, to clear, to release, to get us ready for the new season in our life. And so have a listen to it because it's really, really good information. And then again on the 17th I felt heart palpitations, and with that can come sweat, right? And then headaches. I've got the pressure. I felt like Frankenstein for I don't know how many days, right? And then I had the tension over the right eye. So I don't know if any of you had those same feelings and body signals. But not only did we have the winter solstice coming in that week, but we also had a full moon on December 17th. So holy smack, talk about just like craziness. And then in Ottawa here, we had some really, really severe weather where we had like minus 30 degrees Celsius temperatures. And oftentimes I find that lends itself to my heart palpitations, and that's through knowledge of my own body. I don't recommend that you take a heart palpitation lightly and just think it's the winter solstice. Do your own investigation regarding that. Whether it's a food you eat, acid reflux or asthma, or so in other words, contact the medical field just to rule out everything and anything. For me, I know what it is now. Not necessarily just the winter solstice, but I know what it is, and I can control it. Okay, so that was this past week, and so we'll move on to the upcoming week. And in the past week, did he also say? Oh yeah, he also mentioned about I guess in regards to relationships, some of us would be turning and walking away because nothing would change, and we needed a change, so we would have to make that change ourselves. So I hope that you remember you are supported and guided by the universe and the Lord Jesus Christ, and your spirit guides and the angels when you're going through that. And I also hope that you have a lot of physical support here on Earth. Okay, so let's check in with Whitehawk and see what he has to say regarding the upcoming week of December 23rd to 30th. And I have a frog in my throat. Okay. Indeed, he says. What can be said for the upcoming week that has not been said already in the past few weeks? About the dissipation of energies here, there, and everywhere. But not only here, there, and everywhere, but about moving into a new season of our life. And I do not necessarily mean moving into a new season in general as winter. He says, but there will be many of us who are changing drastically our roles in our life. And for many, it is a welcome change. And for many, it is a needed change. So for many of you, it has been, has it not, a very difficult month, a very challenging few weeks. And I know I'm putting my hand up. And there's this little brown-haired girl that always comes and sits and listens intently, that I speak of often. And she's here and she's listening. He says, but there are many of you, and he lifts his head and he speaks to out in the forest, because oftentimes, if you've heard me describe it or not, it's like she's on the beach, the little girl in the sand, but behind the beach is a forest of like pine trees, tall pines. And so Whitehawk continues and he says, indeed, but the many of you others are here and are listening to you, just have not shown yourselves. And indeed for you as well, it has been a very challenging month and a few weeks, n'est-ce pas? He asks you. And you kind of all shake your head and yes, and you're in fatigue and just so tired and so, what would you call that? Like, we all are very gray looking at this time and tired, and I guess it's like a fed up, right? Like, we're so down and out with our lives that we need this change, and we need it to come faster than it's ever come before. And the fact that it isn't is just so unbelievable to us, and so, well, it leaves us in despair. It can leave us in despair because just the energy just hasn't been moving, and we've been so stagnated, and we've been asking the good Lord for change, and when, and how much longer, you know, because we can't take this anymore, and because we feel like we're, well, a lot of us have like breathing issues. We have, I don't know, it's not anxiety, there's just a heaviness in our chest, and that shortness of breath that can come with that, because we're just in such despair. And Whitehawk says, indeed, and I understand, children, he says, but you have to also understand from our viewpoint that we cannot just throw you into something until it is time. There is a time and a place for everything, and I assure you, it will happen at the most perfect divine time. And I know it has been exceptionally difficult for this one and many others. And so the good news is we are very close. We are very close to that edge of change. And I know, and there's nothing I can say to you, but to say you have to go through it. And there is a reason you are going through it. For if we were to change too soon, it could impede the plans for many, and put us back even many more moons than where you are now. So I just ask you for your patience, children, for a wee bit longer, just a wee bit longer into the new year, when a prosperous, abundant, happy change will occur for many and for many moons to come. So be blessed, my children, with this newfound knowledge, and to just persevere. And as you persevere through it, he says, I recommend taking steps out in nature to calm the jittery nerves, to release the sadness, to release the depression that can come with stagnation for such a long period of time as many of you are suffering and going through right now. And as many hugs, he says, as many hugs as you can get to help you through these periods of time. Be blessed, my children. And I see me getting a hug and others hugging others, and it's extremely uplifting to get that hug. It's for you feel as though you are no longer alone when you receive that hug, and it puts you through for the next few days, hours, weeks that you need. Not puts you through, sorry, it gets you through. Indeed, he says. And so I am giving you all a big etheric hug, he says, to you all now. He says, I'm giving you all a big etheric hug. And come back and listen to this often and receive this big etheric hug from me, my children. And know we are very blessed to be here together with this one and the rest of you. God bless, my children. God bless. And have a very merry season and Christmas this upcoming week. God bless. Thank you, Whitehawk. Well, there you go. That is our reading for this week. So get as many hugs as you can. Oh, hugs are so great, aren't they? They make you feel as though you're not alone, and that there's that energy exchange that happens, right? Of love, of adoration. So get as many hugs, give as many hugs through this holiday week. Our next reading is our intuitive vlog, and it's a continuation of the New Year's readings. Last week we had the general New Year's reading for the year 2014, and this week I think we'll continue on in the love area, so you'll want to be here to hear that, because who doesn't need or want to be loved? And not only do they need or want to be loved, they want to love. It's very important to love people as well. So tune in for that. From my family to yours, I wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season. And we'll see you back here again, and subscribe so that you know when my next video is up. God bless. I'm Tracy for a Chandler's Channel.